The way you have rejected me in my old age. May you also know what it feels like to need love and not find it.
Before the sun rose, Miwa was already awake. The old bakery at the center of Choma village creaked when she opened its wooden doors. The walls were dark from years of smoke. The oven was clay, built by her late husband before the accident. The same accident that took his life and left her legs weak and dependent on crutches. But her hands were strong. She moved slowly, carefully balancing herself as she measured flour. Each step hurt. Each turn cost effort. Yet she never complained. She baked for survival. She baked for dignity. She baked for one person, her daughter, Nyama. While other children woke up to prepare breakfast, Nyama woke up to the sound of firewood crackling. She would walk to the bakery, still tying her hair, sometimes helping her mother carry small sacks of flour. And that was when the whispers began. There goes the cripple's child. She'll grow up walking like that too. Children can be cruel without knowing the weight of their words. At first, Nyama ignored them, but insults are like tiny stones. One does nothing, many begin to bruise. She started noticing her mother's crutches more than her sacrifices. She noticed the way villagers stared when Miwa struggled to climb the bakery steps. She noticed laughter, and something dangerous began to grow inside her. Shame. Miwa, however, saw none of it. She saw only her daughter's intelligence. She saw her books. She saw her potential. You will not stay here forever, Miwa would say gently. Your life will be bigger than this bakery. Nyoma studied hard, but not because she felt gratitude. She studied because she wanted to escape. Every high grade felt like a ticket away from Choma, away from smoke-stained walls, away from crutches scraping against dusty floors. Every insult pushed her further. Years passed. Nyoma grew into a striking young woman. Beautiful, intelligent, sharp-tongued when needed. The village began praising her success in school. The same people who once whispered now said, Miwa's suffering has paid off. But Nyoma did not feel pride in that statement. She felt trapped by it. When she received a job offer in Abuja with accommodation and everything she needed after graduation, the entire village celebrated. Miwa cried that night, tears of joy, tears of relief. My daughter will sit in offices with air conditioning, she told customers proudly. Nyoma left within 2 weeks. The city changed her quickly. New clothes, new accent, new friends. She learned to speak about rural areas as if she had only visited them once.
I know, right?
When colleagues asked about her parents, she hesitated the first time. Then she said it. They are late.
Sorry about that.
The lie came easier the second time. Back in Choma, Miwa waited for long phone calls that became short check-ins. I'm busy, Mama. I'll call later. Later rarely came. Miwa never complained. She told neighbors her daughter was working hard. She told herself distance was normal. But loneliness is quiet and heavy. Months turned into a year. One afternoon, Miwa fainted in the bakery. The village nurse warned her gently. You need rest. Your body is tired. That night, staring at the ceiling, Miwa made a decision. She would visit Abuja. Not to ask for money, not to beg, just to see her daughter's face. She saved for transport. The journey was painful. Each movement with her crutches inside crowded buses made strangers stare. But her heart was hopeful. When she arrived at Nyoma's office building, she stood outside adjusting her gown. Her palms were sweating. She asked the receptionist to call her daughter.
Call my daughter, please.
Upstairs, Nyoma froze when she heard the message. There's an elderly woman here asking for you. She walked downstairs quickly, not with excitement, but with panic. And there she saw her mother, older, thinner, leaning heavily on crutches. Several colleagues were nearby. The silence stretched. Miwa smiled first. Nyama. The name sounded like home. Nyama felt heat crawl up her neck. She imagined the whispers that might follow. Is that her mother? Why does she look like that? Fear of embarrassment spoke louder than love. She said, I think you are mistaken, she said quietly. My name is Fina. Miwa blinked. Nyoma, it's me. Nyoma held her gaze steady. I don't know you. The words fell like a blade. Some colleagues stared in confusion. Miwa's smile trembled. My daughter. Please, Nyoma interrupted, voice sharper now.
Please,
don't create a scene. Security approached gently. Miwa's fingers tightened around her crutches. In that moment, something inside her broke. Quietly broke her. She turned and left. Nyoma stood still, heart racing. She told herself she had done the right thing. She told herself she had protected her image. But that night, sleep did not come easily. And far away, in a small guest room she had rented, Miwa cried silently into her wrapper. The next morning, she began her journey back to Choma. And Nyoma, sitting in her air-conditioned office, felt something unfamiliar pressing against her chest. It was not shame, not yet. It was the beginning of consequence. And she did not know that the rain waiting in Choma would carry words that would follow her for the rest of her life. The rain in Choma felt like grief that refuses to leave. When Nyoma returned to the village weeks after the incident in Abuja, it was not out of guilt, it was out of irritation. She had asked a careful question to a neighbor and learned that her mother had told no one what happened. But fear remained. What if she travels again? What if she embarrasses me properly next time? Nyoma arrived in expensive clothes, unsuited for muddy roads. The bakery looked smaller. Miwa looked weaker. For a second, just a second, Nyoma saw the woman who had carried flour with broken legs. Then pride returned. You can't come to my workplace like that, she said immediately. Do you know what you almost caused? Miwa did not argue. I only wanted to see you. You should have called. I tried. Nyoma's jaw tightened. You think it was easy? She asked, her voice low but shaking under control. You think I didn't hear what they called me? The cripple's daughter, the girl with the broken mother. Miwa's fingers slowly stilled. They laughed, Mama, she continued. They stared when you walked. They whispered. Every school event, every market day, I felt their eyes. Her voice grew thinner. I hated it. I hated how they looked at you and at me. Miwa swallowed. I studied hard so I could leave, so I could become someone they would respect. I worked for this life. I built it carefully. She lifted her chin. I can't let anything drag me back. Silence filled the room. Miwa's eyes softened, not angry, just tired. So, Miwa asked gently, I am what drags you back? Nyoma looked away, her fingers brushing the envelope as she set it on the wooden table. There, if you need anything, use that or call me. But please, don't show up in Abuja again. Rain began falling harder outside. Miwa stared at the envelope. Is this what I am now? She asked softly. Nyoma said nothing. Miwa sighed deeply, her voice trembling for the first time.
The way you have rejected me in my old age, may you also know what it feels like to need love and not find it.
The words came from a wounded heart. Nyoma felt a flicker of discomfort, but turned away and left. The next morning, Miwa did not wake up. She died in her sleep. The bakery fire did not light that day. At the burial, Nyoma stood composed. She wore black. She shook hands. People whispered about how successful she had become. She cried, but only briefly. Then she returned to Abuja. Life moved fast. 2 years passed. She married Brian, a hard-working man with ambition. They had twin girls, Tessa and Tiana. Beautiful, curious eyes. Nyama built her career. Promotions came, money grew. She believed she had won. 10 years passed quickly. Routine replaced romance. Brian became busier. The twins turned 10, old enough to have their own moods, their own impatience. Then the accident happened. One evening, returning from a business trip, rain poured heavily along the highway outside Abuja. Visibility dropped. A truck lost control. Metal crushed. Glass shattered. When Nyama woke up in the hospital, her legs were heavily bandaged. The doctor spoke gently. "We normally wouldn't discuss this with you in your condition, but no member of your family is here yet. We've contacted your husband, but until he arrives, we need you to understand your situation." He paused before continuing. "Your driver is also in critical condition, but he's out of danger. And you're lucky to be alive. But recovery will be long. You must stay consistent with therapy and medication." Recovery required presence. At first, Brian tried. The girls tried, but work deadlines returned, school activities resumed, meals were late, medicine reminders were forgotten. "I'm busy, Fina." "Not now, Mom. You're stressing everyone." The words sounded familiar, painfully familiar. One night, lying awake, she remembered the rain in Choma, the crutches, the bakery fire at dawn, her mother's voice. For the first time in years, pride left her body, and what replaced it was unbearable understanding. The next morning, she made a request that shocked everyone in the room. "I want to go to Choma." Brian hesitated. The children were confused, but the nurse assigned to her care agreed to take her. The journey back felt longer than the one her mother once made. This time, Nyama was in a wheelchair. The bakery had been locked for years. Her mother's grave was simple, no grand decoration, just a name carved into stone. Silence. She cried without holding back. "I was ashamed of you," she whispered, "but you were never ashamed of me." She admitted her cruelty. She admitted her pride. She asked for forgiveness, not because she feared punishment, but because she finally understood the wound she caused. Something shifted inside her, deeply shifted. When she returned to Abuja, she changed in small ways. She stopped snapping at the nurse. She thanked Brian. She listened to her daughters. She became patient with therapy. Humility softened her, and slowly her family softened too. Brian began adjusting his schedule. Tessa and Tiana spent evenings reading beside her. Medication was taken on time. The doctor noticed improvement. "You are progressing steadily," he said. "Not fully healed, but better than expected." She could now take slow, painful steps, short distances only. For longer ones, she still needed the wheelchair. It was not a miracle. It was responsibility meeting grace. A year passed. She still limped. She still remembered the rain that had washed the shame and fear into her past. And now, it felt like a quiet witness to her new steps. But each step carried meaning. Nyama renovated the bakery in Choma, hired experienced village bakers to run it, not to erase the past, but to honor it. The smell of fresh bread returned to the market. This time, it carried a different story. A story about pride, about rejection, about consequences, and about second chances. Nyama never fully escaped her past, but she stopped running from it. Moral lesson. Pride blinds you to the sacrifices that built you. It can make you ashamed of the very hands that carried you when you could not stand. And when you reject those hands, life has a quiet way of teaching you what abandonment feels like. It teaches children to honor their parents. It teaches parents to be careful with words spoken in pain. It teaches everyone that shame of humble beginnings can slowly destroy destiny. Money cannot replace presence. Success cannot erase sacrifice. But if you humble yourself before it is too late, healing in one form or another is still possible. And sometimes the hands that carried you will no longer be there, but the lesson they left is heavier than pride.
I'm so sorry, Mama. Forgive me. Please forgive Nyama. Please.